Hello my boils, my ghouls, and my zools. So today we are going to take the AK-74 and we're putting it to Ukrainian battlefield spec. Some nice Kalashnikov furniture on here. Just a Tango down grip, standard old triangle. What we're doing today is we are going to take some standard upgrades that the Ukrainians have been using on their AK-74s and AK-47s. We're going to pop them on here and see how they all work together. So if you've been paying attention to the pictures of the rifles whatsoever, one thing you'll notice is they kind of have different tiers of their upgrades. So you'll see Ukrainian ground forces, territorial defense, and civilians all alike using the same type of upgrades. Primarily, they are using TDI arms. So this is their LHV-47 handguard set. Pretty standard polymer handguard set. Has Picatinny rail up front. Not made to zero. You can put flashlights and whatnot up there, but it's not made for zeroing. Another common piece they use is the TDI arms 5-position grip. You'll see that it's a forward grip. You'll see that quite a bit on Ukrainian rifles. So you tend to see the Russians using a lot of Tango down grips. Not the case with the Ukrainians. They are also using a lot of TDI arms. They're using the LHB AG-47. Just a nice standard grooved grip. And mostly they're using iron sights, but when they are not, you will see two different configurations. You'll see this TDI arms optics mount that replaces the sight leaf. That's a common one. And you'll also see Fab Defense. That's another manufacturer the Ukrainians use quite heavily. They do use the similar grip that Fab Defense makes with just a single finger groove. They will use the buttstock, which I believe is just called the reinforced polymer buttstock, but it's a CAR-15 style buttstock for your AK. And they do make it in a folding and non-folding version. Both are collapsing. You'll also see them using Fab Defense polymer handguards quite a bit with a Fab Defense forward grip. So I haven't seen one picture of any Ukrainian rifles with the muzzle brake actually changed out. The AK-74 muzzle brake is a completely competent muzzle brake. It will lower your recoil pretty significantly, just not quite as much as a big old four-door brake like that, but it is very, very effective. So very little reason to change it out. You can see they run very, very, very slim when it comes to their modifications. You will see quite a few 74s that have just the standard wood stock as well. A lot of the times you will see people changing it out for that Fab Defense CAR-15 style stock. It's a good stock. It's very comfortable. Probably do that configuration later on. Today we're just doing what we're going to call like the Tier 1 Ukrainian upgrades. Not quite, you know, special operator status, but, you know, that's kind of the baseline of what people do. So they will also use the handguard that has the integrated sight leaf that comes over the top here. So they will also use standard length quad rails from Crook. Crook is kind of like the Ukrainian Zenitco. Probably a little bit better, honestly. The stuff's pretty nicely made. Right now, Zenitco is kind of unobtainium. Crook is extremely hard to get. It's a little available, but they are not doing any exports whatsoever until this war is over. So if you want Crook parts, you're going to have to search around. Probably going to find a better time with those than Zenitco though, and honestly, you'll probably be happier because, I mean, Zenitco's nice, but it's hip. It's hip. It's very expensive. If you're thinking about Zenitco and how much money it costs, you know, handguard's going to cost you a couple $100. This whole upgrade system with the TDI arms comes in at less than $100, including the sight leaf. If you're going to just use standard iron sights, $77 for the whole setup. And this is what they're bringing into war. So there you go. You can bag on TDI arms all you want. Battlefield tested. You could bag on Fab Defense all you want. I never really hear people bag on Fab Defense. I actually hear quite a few people like their dust cover, their railed dust cover. Apparently, it's actually repeatable. I can't confirm this. Maybe we'll have to get one, do a little testing, because I know y'all very, very curious about options. Let's pop this nice furniture off here that literally this lower handguard costs more than the entire upgrade package we're about to put on here. Let's pop the 74 brake back on. Let's get this back into Ukrainian spec, go zero it, have some fun. So I'm doing 2 Texas Tacticals this weekend. Gonna see if we can get this rifle ready for it, and next week head out to AK Masters. And that is what I want to use as far as my setup goes at AK Masters, because it's very lightweight, and I decided I want to use the 74 a little more this year. So let's get going. Notch there. It's right into the top of the sight leaf. This does not install the same as an Attero. You do have this little lip up here. You will have to go through the front of the gas tube here. Let's get your thread locker all ready to go. And to reiterate, if you don't know, just put it on one side of the threads. That's all you need. A little dab will do you. You take the little bushing. You want to put it on your fingertip, flat side forward. You're going to have this little lip on the TDI. Corresponds right there. You just pop it in. You go through the front of the gas tube. Press it on up in there. Take your Allen key with your thread locker already on there. You're going to drive it home. And do not stop twisting until you feel no play. Got a grip. We're good to go. Alright, let's show this thing off. Well, here we go. The Ukrainian setup. Got the TDI upper handguard, lower handguard, and 5-position grip. Got the sight leaf replacement red dot mount. Got their LHB AG47 grip. And we're sticking with the triangle stock because that is what they use in Ukraine. Unless they are using a Fab Defense. But this iteration, we're going all TDI. Because that's what typically people are doing, is going with a whole package. So we're going to stick with the package. Now normally red dot wise, I'm going with one of these to make it clone correct. It's a Holosun 403. That is a standard optic for the Ukrainian military. They also use MiPro lights. I think it's the GP25. what is it called? We'll be checking out one of those in the future, but for now, we're going to go with the basic Ukrainian ground force setup. But we're going to change out the optic because I am going to bring this setup to Texas Tactical this weekend. And so I got to go to 0 right now. And then I'm going to be bringing it to AK Masters to see how it does. So it should be interesting. You do have to have that cricked forward a little bit. There we go. So let's clap on an optic. Let's go 0.